So Gaffer, first 3 games, a win, a draw and a loss. What's your kind of review on how it's gone so far?
Pretty hectic. Obviously good start against Grimsby in terms of the result, which was the most important thing. We knew that certainly from a performance point of view there were areas to work on. Obviously Exeter was just a real disappointing day for everybody. For us it felt like a big backward step. They were by far the better team. But we were really, really disappointed with all aspects of our performance, with the ball, without the ball, conceded some really bad goals, which of late we've actually been really good in terms of, limiting goals against and keeping clean sheets. That was a real disappointing day. In terms of after that for a response, I was happy enough last night, again, without doing enough to threaten, the goal certainly and create clear-cut opportunities. It was a reaction, to lose 4-0 as we did in the manner we did. For me, the most important thing is making sure we get ourselves going again at the earliest opportunity. And I believe, the boys did that on the whole.
It was a bit of a shape change, I guess, last night with maybe seeing Dan Kemp a bit closer to the striker. How do you think that worked on the whole? Really
good. I thought, Kempy looked really bright. Again, it's a new way for us. We don't have a lot of time to work in terms of out on the grass and preparation. So again, with that in mind, I thought we got him in some really good positions, just on the back of their midfield line, and also a lot more contact with the striker, which again, for us, there's been times where our 9, the central one's been a little bit detached and isolated. So that's clearly something we've looked at. We're trying to address to get a bit more support at him without losing the balance in the middle of the pitch and the ability to control games. So yeah, I was happy enough with him. Again, as an attacking force, there's certainly so much more to come. It's an area that we are struggling in. I think we're all honest enough to say that the goals are clearly not flowing, but it's about getting those boys in those areas as often as we can, and then just asking a little bit more of them, showing a bit more conviction when we get in and around the box. We're quite patient in the build-up, but there's got to be a switch of when we then go quick to get those shots off, get crosses in, and just be a little bit more positive around the box. So they're the big messages, certainly for us, that came out of last night.
There's a couple of changes, obviously, Tuesday night, as well as that first game against Grimsby as well. Are you starting to see kind of what your starting level would be, or do you think there's still lots of places up for stake?
I think there always has to be places up for grabs. I think I want to have a competitive squad. I don't want people assuming or expecting to play every week unless they're very much at the top of their game and they're producing results. And at the moment those results haven't been there. That's for everybody to see. So there shouldn't be one person in there really. Well, Lawrence, I think consistently has been very good this year. Brophy has maintained a really high level. Craig Clay I'd probably put in that category as well. In terms of consistency, in terms of playing at the level they can do, they've probably been the ones outside of that, particularly recently. I don't think anyone's quite at the level that they need to be to warrant an automatic starting place. So if I'm not in the team, I've got to be looking at that as an opportunity. But if I am, I've got to make sure that my levels go up to make sure I am being selected and I'm being picked. And, until we find that consistency and that winning formula, it's up to me to find out the best way to configure things to try and get those winning performances in.
One of those in particular would have been Danny Johnson, obviously, who's leading scorer this year. But from what you saw from Tristan Abraham, were you kind of happy with his role on Tuesday night?
Yeah, again, another one I was. Obviously not played a great amount of football recently, but I felt he occupied the centre halves really well, enabled us to get up the pitch at times, to go up and play off, but also gives us that threat in behind, which is still important. Again, the lads are still getting to know his strengths and vice versa, him with the other players. So it is very much a work in progress. And again, I want a bit of both from my forwards. It can't just be one thing all the time. And again, that's something that hopefully will become more clearer, that threat to go in behind, which clearly we need to have, but also the ability to come and link, particularly now we've got the 10 playing and the other boys that being able to come in and join and play off them.
And this Saturday is Scunthorpe in E10, and obviously you remember that reverse fixture well. Teams to dominate the game. DJ's missed that penalty, and we've come away, really bitterly disappointed not to win, let alone not get a point. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of lads looking to avenge that.
Yeah, that was probably in that little run of games that we were, again, in my opinion, the better team. We should have put them to bed, not just DJs, but I had a really good chance that day as well. That, again, they go in, it's a completely different story, and maybe that little bit of ruthlessness that we didn't quite have in those games has ended up costing us, because certainly on the balance of play, we had enough chances certainly to win that. Again, a team that are hard working, as they showed against us, they stuck in there. And they came through it, and obviously got the result against us last time. So certainly for us, when you've been turned over once already in the season, you're very, very keen not to let it happen again. And certainly from our point of view, at home, it's a game, bearing in mind the draw last night, that we need to go and win.